Hey guys, welcome to my last video for probably a little bit. I'm about to move from here to there. So next few weeks is basically going to be a lot of hacking, a lot of trying to sell stuff. Make sure you check out TCG Player and just all the chaos involved with getting my new place. So I am currently working on scripting a good discussion video of Universal versus Disney, but honestly this is probably gonna be the last one I get to actually record before I start doing all that stuff. I'll be able to edit during my free time, and I'll try to get you guys some streams, some gaming stuff, and some shorts, that kind of thing in the meantime. But that last video for a little bit, if you want to help support the channel in this time of and getting money because I don't know what rent's gonna be, make sure to check out my page on TCG Player, and of course check out Raid's Energy, good energy drink. I drink it all the time. I should probably have one in my hand for this clip, so we'll just Photoshop it in right there. Anyways, promise you guys some counter magic. Remember my Grand Grace video when I mentioned a new kit or ride line? You didn't watch that? Probably should. Anyways, today we're talking about that guy, Solrairon. Solrairon. Wizard Pope. Whatever his name is, Ron here brings a new twist to an old fave. That's right, we got a new Mega Scry deck. Just this time it's not a Hex Orb. With the Pope's first skill, you can Soul Blast at the beginning of your battle phase to decide if your top card is a normal card or a trigger unit. Choose right and you get a mini Persona Ride 5k buff to your front row until the end of turn. Now, in order to use this gimmick, you are going to have to rely on a few support units, but we'll talk about it after we discuss what's behind skill number 2. Counterblast 1 on attack to check the top 2 cards of your deck, and from there you're able to superior call one of those cards, then stack the rest on top or bottom of your deck. Without saying anything else, Solrairon here gives you a good 4-attack turn that describes your top card, which is not bad. I mean, it's severely overclassed because unfortunately we did find out that Hex Orb has a new form and it is insane. If you guys want a video on that, I'll just you know what to do. But 4-attack without doing anything else is still admirable, and we can always expand it from there. Thing is here, Ram doesn't really peek or scry before battle phase himself, so for that let's take a look at the ride line. Alright, Grade 1 boy, I'm not even going to mention the Grade 0, they all do the exact same thing. Sage of Elixir, Solrairon has 2 different skills. First one happens when you ride upon him, and that is when rode upon by Sage of Robust Drogon, the Grade 2, you get to declare either a normal unit or a trigger unit, and reveal the top card of your deck. If you reveal the type you declared, you may put it into your hand. If not, that revealed card just either goes into soul or top of the deck. This is kind of mid. I mean, in practice, in theory, this is a good skill to just begin a turn, call thing, draw a card, or soul charge it. But this is during the ride phase, the beginning of turn, and you're not going to be able to move your top card by then. So, this one, unfortunately not the best. What is the best though is the second skill, which says, when placed on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with the boy in name, choose up to 1 unit from your hand and reveal it. If you reveal the card, draw a card and put that revealed card on top of your deck. This is going to help you stack up for Solrairon because you will know the top card of your deck and you are putting a normal unit on top, so sets up multi-attack right there. There's many things that you can trade into. I know Cowboy, the Black Knight, that lets you check your top 3 and call a card off. That's basically a board reset for 5 attacks. You can pretty much set up anything that has an on-call effect, which is like half of Keter. There's many things you can do with this when placed on rearguard. Honestly, this is one of those ride line cards that you are going to want to run 4 of if you have room for it. On to the Grade 2, the Sage of Robust Krogunk. First is on ride skill as always. When this is rode upon by a Solrairon card, you can choose him and Elixir Solrairon, the Grade 1 ride line, and call him out to rearguard. This is a newish common skill that you're seeing on a lot of decks. I know right now I'm trying to finish off this girl, and she has very similar skill to a ride line with these 2 girls. And that's very good for helping you fill out your board, especially when those cards have call effects, just like the Grade 1 does. Then for second skill, when a normal unit is revealed by ability of your Vanguard with Solrairon in its name, this card is going to gain at the end of the battle attack, retire it, and countercharge 1. I mean, that's good. Like, you get a counter charge off it. I don't think you counter blast too much the first 2 turns outside of just creating your effects, so that's kind of mid, but it gets itself out of the way, gives you resource back, and helps with your scry thing. So good, not as good as the grade 1. Luckily, even without more toys in the set, Solrairon already has plenty of friends from previous sets to make them work. Let's jump to everyone's official Bushiroad page in order to take a look at some of his support. Alright, let's start talking about some weird techs. First of all, this is a grade 4 that does literally nothing until the fact that you realize it is a grade 4 that you can superior call in a deck that superior calls. And then you look at this triple drive symbol here and realize that your overtrigger lets you get drive checks on your rear guards. And that's pretty much the only reason that I'm mentioning Bastion Pride. Just more drives. So you know how some of our cards clear the field? These girls literally have the same effect. If you drive check them and call it an open rear guard, they get boost. The lag rail I'm mainly mentioning because of the weird attack patterns in this deck. It might be okay to just go ahead and rest some dudes and get drive checks without your open trigger. This and this both have effects when you drive check a trigger. I mainly put them in here because you are thinning your deck of non-triggered units, and that will help you get triggers faster when you scry and stuff, so that's essentially a restander for some counterblast, and that's going to help refill your soul, which is great because you do soul blast a lot and you cycle draw cards. Speaking of soul blasting, this is going to let you either refill your board or just peek a trigger, and this also lets you refill your board and give that card a +5. This is also a super old tech from the first festival collection, and that's like a maybe 50-cent card now, so pick them up now while you can. Is going to be decent. That's basically +10 to your other unit when you count for Soul's main skill plus his own. Good kitty. Or puppy. Whatever it is. I'm going to call it a puppy because I play puppies. This thing and this thing both give you extra power when they're called out of the deck. This is going to be a Soul Blast 2 to countercharge 1, which is nice to help you countercharge, but you do Soul Blast a decent amount, so maybe not. This is just like draw a card, counterblast 1 +5. Literally one of my best friends after I started playing Grand Grace. Of course, I already mentioned this. It's another thing to help you flood the field. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, check your top 3, call a thing, then shuffle. Basically, you call this off of Soul's effect and go into his effect, create another thing. This adds on to Yao Gao Go 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 Galgar and Ace Right Angel to help you flood your field and get 5 attacks in a turn. This helps you fill your soul and maybe flood. I don't like him as much as the consistency of the other ones, but it does get you there. And also, if you want to just help fill your soul, this guy, similar to Golgao, he's going to give himself another unit +5. Essentially makes him a 13k on call, and gives you Vanguard +5, so that's a nice little buff right there. Basically turning Solrairon into a 23k beat for the turn between his own skill and this guy, and helps you fill your soul, which, once again, soul issues. Then our Scry Engine, and our Scry Engine. This card's just free. I don't know why. This is just, like, if you ever have room in any Indicator deck, scry a card. If you don't like the card, it's a 12k getter. And I guess we can mention the other relevant stuff now that the set's out of Japan. Oh god, it's in Japanese! With the Nation Cycle card's place, you could counterblast 1, check your top 2, add 1 to hand, and put the rest on top and bottom, which is a decent scry, but this does activate on Persona Ride, so that does mitigate her a little bit beyond turn 4. This dependable dragon is Solrairon's direct support card. You can choose a normal unit from your hand, reveal it, draw a card, and then put the card you reveal on top of the deck. Sets up a Scry-Rayon. Then his other skills could be when you do your Soul Soul, it goes to Soul Soul after he gets +5 on attacking, which makes it a 18k attacker. That goes bye-bye back into Soul. This is kind of a clone, but better, but worse, of the Knight that we already had. When it's placed by ability, it gets +5, and then when placed from deck, you get Soul Blast 1, draw a card, and boost. AKA just play the rare we already have. The only thing you're gaining is a potential ability to boost off this guy. Mid support for Solrairon. When you Solrai a normal thing, it gets boost and +5. 20 other cards that do his job better, but he's directly linked to Solrairon. Oh yes, this. I like this. I like this a lot. So when he's placed, check your top card, put it on top or bottom. If you chose to put that card at the bottom, check your top card again. Scry 1 to 2 cards, potentially guarantees a trigger, potentially guarantees a Solrai. This is basically a Scry 2 on place. Good card. This order's okay. Check top 2, choose up to 1 card, call it, and then put the rest on top of the deck in any order. Sets up top 2 potentially, calls cards potentially. I just don't like it in here because there's no reason to run orders in this at any point, since a lot of your cards say normally units. Orders aren't units. Cool skill, just doesn't vibe with Mr. Ron. And I think that's all. Do I mention the commons? I'm just gonna pick a random one. I don't think we mentioned the commons. Hi, Crow. So, what does everyone think of the Siege? Do y'all like this 5-attack Gold Paladin Scry type deck? This Solrairon make you want to play Hexorb again? How do you pronounce the name? Find out in the comments down below where you should go if you have anything that you want to comment on. Until next time, I am now Solrairon. Always embrace the infinite.